What's going on, guys? Get in the chat box. This is dead. Wake up, because what I'm about to say, you're gonna need to hear it. All right, this stuff is not meant for the faint-hearted. Get off the call if you can't handle what's about to be said. This isn't for the people who are here to just dilly-dally. I love you. The dilly-dalliers love you, need you, and we'll be best friends. But here on these calls, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're trying to do some crazy stuff. We're trying to do things that break generational curses. We're trying to do things that put people ahead in life when they feel like they got their backs against the wall. If you feel or have ever felt like you've had your back against the wall and you didn't know what the hell to do, get some twos in the chat. If you haven't, then you've never struggled enough yet, and that's okay. But guess what? Life is coming around the corner and it's going to slap you hard soon. If you haven't had your back against the wall yet, it will be there. And that's why we come together here to grow together. We come here to do things that others say we cannot. If you've been told you cannot do something, you know what I'm saying. When everyone told me I couldn't do this, I laughed and I kept my mouth shut and I let the results speak for themselves. We got people piling in the waiting room. We're going to give it a couple seconds here. I want you guys to make sure you feel this. Get your notepad ready. Listen, I don't bring all the network marketing stuff. I give it to you guys as raw as possible. I give you my heart. I give you my energy. I give you everything I have because this has given me all that I have. It would be a complete disservice if I didn't get on these calls and absolutely send it. I need this as much as anyone else needs this. This right here is where we come together. We collect our thoughts. We build together. We form our energy and we destroy every single thing in our path. There will not be a single person, man, woman, child, company, whatever it may be, that will deter us from not only setting our goals, but establishing momentum enough to crush through them. We are doing shit like a dump truck, okay? We're running everything over. There are no such things as speed bumps on this team, in this business, in this company. And tonight we're going to be talking about a couple things that need to be heard because every single one of us could use it. We have professional athletes on this call tonight. If you don't know, now you know. We have people who are some of the most disciplined human beings in the entire world on this call. Why? Because they put what they want aside and they do what they need first. These are things that the most disciplined and the most successful and ultimately the most fulfilled and happy individuals on this planet do. They put what they want aside and they put what they need to do right in front of them and they attack it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are focusing on gaining self-discipline. Now, normally I'm not one for notes, but how can I be someone who pretends to know everything and actually provide value? That's absolutely arrogant. That's silly. That's ignorant. That's not something that we're going to be. So in order to grow properly, we're going to have to send it the right way. And that means we got to learn together. Folks, all of this information that we're going over tonight, I didn't come up with this stuff. Way more successful, way more intelligent individuals have come up with these theories, these concepts, these proofs. And they've laid them out in a format for us so we can take it and run. All the information tonight has come directly from Forbes articles, from some of the most successful individuals that I have ever read about, that I've ever seen walk, that I've ever seen on the TV, on the radios, wherever it may be. This is some of the most vital information in creating that inwards momentum that I have been hounding and harping for the past 2 weeks. That inwards momentum, if we've had a personal call together in the past 2 weeks, you know that the only way to bleed momentum into your business is to create it inwards. Now, I don't care what you do. I don't care if it's with this company, another company, or your parents' business. I don't care what it is. The only way you're going to start to create that momentum outwards is if you do it inwards, because all momentum is a transference of energy through a consistent path from one to the next, to the next, to the next. How well can you create those habits, those self-disciplines, that they become so deeply rooted into who you are that it becomes absolutely impossible for other people not to feel it, not to see it, not to believe that is your true authentic self. Folks, write authenticity at the top of your page. That is what we are. That is who you are. That is what we will continue to be. We will not ever flex fake results. We will not be someone we are not. Everyone says fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. There's a difference of walking and talking the game and faking it before you make it. Right? Faking it is selling the dream, believing the facade, and pretending. But knowing that you're up next doesn't mean that you have to fake it. That just means you got to walk with conviction. You got to walk with confidence. You got to speak like it comes from the heart and from the gut. You know what they say? Speak with your chin up and your chest out, baby. Say it with some passion. Talk to me like you want to talk to me. Save the silly stuff for later. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know already, self-discipline is one of the single most important factors, I would say, in creating long-term success in any aspect in your life. Self-discipline. Sounds easy, way harder. It's one of those things easier said than done. I can promise you that. If you're an athlete, if you're in school, if you do any of these things that create or are necessary to get from one spot to the next, following a specific path, you're going to have to put certain disciplines into your life. All of us on this call, we're in one spot and we know we want to get to the next. If you want to be an athlete, you're going to have to do things that athletes do. And guess what? They don't eat junk food. They don't drink soda all the time. They don't do all the fun stuff. They're not drinking mixed drinks and going out partying every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're dialing in. They see their end goal and they have that victory vision that I talked about on the call on Sunday with everybody. That victory vision. You can't just believe that something's going to happen. You need to be able to see it. And all of you know that I don't get on calls and paint your picture for you. I'm not Pablo Picasso. I'm not Da Vinci. I'm not Raphael. Okay. You got to sit here and figure out your own picture. What I can do is I can show you the vehicle to help you get there, but I can't want this more than you want this. So first things first. If self-discipline creates long-term success in all your aspects of life, I mean, whether that's fitness, your dieting, relationships, it's hands down the number one trait needed to accomplish those goals. And like I said earlier, it will eventually lead to you being fulfilled, right? Being able to sit down and say, this is what I'm going to do today. This is what I'm going to do at this time, this day, every single day. That is a discipline. You have to feel that. You have to say that's what's going to happen. You have to actually verbalize that and say, this is what I'm going to do. And it is not easy. And if you accept that, you'll start to do it. But if you let yourself have breaks all the time, it's going to be harder and harder and harder to stay consistent. Folks, a study in 2013 shows that people with self-control are self-control and self-discipline are much, much happier than the rest of the individuals around them. And the reason is because they are more capable. They're more capable of dealing with goal conflicts, right? Conflicts that are goal-oriented. You set out on a path and you got hit and you got knocked down a couple times. The people that have self-discipline, they know that they can get back up, accept what just happened, reestablish a course of action, and attack again, and attack again, and attack again. That is very, very, very important. And that's why people that fail but have that self-discipline, they don't get all bogged down and then just quit and walk out with their head down. People that fail and walk out with their chest up still, they know that this was a lesson for them. And you hear it all the time. You fail, you learn a lesson. You fail, you learn a lesson. It's a lot easier said than done. A lot of people take failure so personally. It's like, dude, what did you think? You were perfect? That's ignorant. That's arrogant. You thought you were perfect? You're just going to get it one shot, one take. Everyone knows the rules, right? One bite. All right, Barstool. You think you're just going to do it right the first time every time? Who are you? Teach me. That's what I want to know. Man, we all mess up. Figure it out. Get back up and figure it out. Okay? So let's check it out. People with self-control and self-discipline have an easier time making positive decisions, less emotional decisions. The reason that is because, again, they can see things in a rational mind because we quantify them. We don't just say, oh, we need to do this, 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 and this, and then it doesn't work out, and then you get all butthurt, and now you're crying and moping. No. We quantify the amount of energy, the amount of time, the amount of effort that needs to be put into a certain thing. And if you don't respect those levels necessary to achieve that target, well, then you're not going to achieve it. Okay, fine. Go back to the drawing board, figure it out. Maybe you need to put a little more time in here, maybe a little less time here. Maybe you need to bring someone in to help you out. Why is it that people have such a difficult time asking for help? Let me tell you this. Anyone that judges you on your first mistake, they can kick rocks. You will not be judged, at least by me or any other leader, on your first mistake or even your second mistake. But if you do not rectify that mistake and continue to make it, well, then listen, what are you looking for? You're looking for, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. Go talk to your mom. I'm sure she'll let you, I'm trying not to curse. I'm sure she'll let you not mess up, or I'm sure she'll let you mess up and keep telling you you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. Well, there's going to become a point where you keep messing up, doing the same dumb thing over and over and over again. You got to wake up. You got to wake up. You're just going to get down on yourself, quit, walk out. Okay, that's what most people do. I don't think people on this call do that, though. You wouldn't be on this call if you do that. It's very, 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 very tough to accept what is and keep moving forward. Okay, the thing that I love, and I think you've all heard this before, is if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. And if you do what is difficult, your life will be easy. What does that mean? How does that translate into our life? Well, you take the shortcuts, you're probably going to run into a bunch of road bumps. If you do the difficult stuff, let's talk about, I don't know, let's say going to the gym every single day. The toughest part about going to the gym every single day is going to the gym. That's the toughest part. It's not doing it. Okay, because once you're in the gym, it starts to feel good. You're like, yep, I got here, I'm doing it. And even if you just do 20 minutes, you're like, yep, I did the gym today. I'm good. It's funny. It's funny. You got a lot of those people out there, and that's okay. At least you made it to the gym. Do what is easy and your life will be hard. Do what is difficult and your life will inevitably be easier. Okay. Many of you on this call, you're going to be like, how do I develop self-discipline? How do I do this? How do I do that? Guys, self-discipline is a learned skill. It's a learned behavior, and it requires practice and repetition. How many of you, drop some twos in the chat, if and only if. I don't ever want people on my calls just dropping numbers in the chat to be like, yeah, I'm showing support. If you don't know what's about to be said, then don't say nothing. Plain and simple, okay? If you know what I'm about to say, then yeah, drop some twos in there. But how many of you have heard that success is rented daily? How many of you have heard that? Everyone's like, oh, I'm successful. No. You have to wake up and you have to rent that success every single day. Part of renting that success is being so self-disciplined that you can do the ins and outs. You want to do this, you got to get up at 5 a.m. every single day. That sucks, okay? That sucks. I don't like getting up early, right? I don't like getting up super early, but I do it because it helps me achieve a certain goal. And if I'm going to work towards a certain goal, it's not bought, it's rented. That's what I was trying to say, but I didn't have it written down, Austin. I appreciate you. I'm not the best at rifling off quotes. Again, I'm not that guy. I'm not the network marketer guy. Okay. I just call it what it is. You got to get up and figure this stuff out every single day. You got to get up and just get her done. And I know that's so much easier said than done, but start to quantify things and write them down. Even if it's just 3 things, right? I've talked to many of you about finding 3 things that you suck at and getting better at them, and doing it consistently over and over and over again. Create those internal habits that will inevitably start to leak into your business, and they will start to transpire into growth, into momentum. When we say momentum, what do? We say it 3 more times. Momentum, momentum, momentum. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my favorite word. One of these days, when I'm a 7-figure earner, I'll probably tattoo it across my throat, because that word right there has helped me achieve so many things, and I know it'll continue to help you. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we start to put these 5 topics together that I'm going to talk about tonight, you're going to start to see things. Garrett says you won't. What did I tell you at the beginning of the call? When someone tells me what I can and can't do, what do you think I do? My mom ain't going to be too proud, but hey, I'll buy her a Benz or something. Who knows? But when we put these 5 things together, folks, it's like the compound effect comes into work. Okay. And I've said this a bunch of times. The Compound Effect is one of my favorite books because it quantifies the little things. Everyone thinks, okay, I'm just going to be successful. I need to just do this, and this. To be honest with you, a lot of my successful days come from me doing the small things. Like, I don't know, let's say getting up before 10 a.m. Central. I grew up on the East Coast. I should be getting up at 6 a.m. every day. But now I'm out here an hour behind, and technically I'm getting up at 11 o'clock of what I'd be used to. That's terrible. That's not a good successful habit. That's not a good self-discipline. So what do I do now? I start getting up at 9. Still not the earliest. That's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, but I'm inching it back, creating those habits, trying to dial it back. Because when you try to do something full bore, you just go all in. That can be extremely overwhelming. But if you do the little things consistently day in and day out, I just had this example with someone else. When you put your shoes in the corner, same corner every single day, and you go to bed and you wake up for work and you put on those shoes and you run out the door, that's great. But let's say you're late for work one day and you came home all pissed off the day before and, you know, you just threw your shoes across the room somewhere and you wake up in the morning, right? You wake up in the morning and you're already late because you were miserable last night. And now you got to wake up late and you're running around and you can't find your shoes. Well, now you're already late for your day, but now your day's starting out even worse because you can't find your shoes because you were too lazy to do the little things, because the little things would add up to the big things. You all know how to compound your account. We all understand what compounding your account is in trading, right? 1% a day, 2%, 3%, 4%, whatever it is, it adds up. And the little things in your life, when you compound them, they add up to big things, brick by brick. We lay bricks perfectly, not only in this company, not only in this team, but in our lives, because we're people that go out of our way to do a little bit more. 160 people on the call. I appreciate you. Let's talk about the 5 things. First and foremost, write this down. You need to remove temptations. Let me get some 4s in the chat if you've heard the following quote: out of sight, out of mind. You need to remove temptations out of sight so they are out of mind. What does that mean? Mike Batanti talked about a growth environment last night. John C. Maxwell stuff. You need to monitor your environment. You want to eat better? Get the junk food out the house. You know what's easy? You know why it's easy for Tanner and I to get in shape right now? Because Mackenzie doesn't buy crappy food for us. There's no fun food in the house. It's just vegetables. After the gym, we grab a veggie tray almost every day after the gym, and we sit there and we eat them like chips because we just tell ourselves, it's a chip, it's a chip. It's crunchy, it's a chip. It's a carrot, it's a chip, same thing. It's crunchy. Onion dip, I cheat a little bit, okay? You want to get better at something? You got to do the little things, but you also have to help yourself out by removing the stuff that's not helping you. Life really is boiled down to a couple core topics, a couple of core concepts that can truly change the way you do things. It can truly change your outcomes, change your beliefs, change your morals, switch things up a little bit. Edit your life often. Yeah. Rithless. I read that. Okay. Folks, like me, if you're like me, when I first started this, I love video games. I love them. But I knew that wasn't going to take me to my next level, because when I sit here and I play video games, I don't just do it for 45 minutes. It's 4 to 5 hours easily. I can burn 5, 6, 7 hours sitting here without getting up. And I'm like this, Doritos, I'm freaking cracking domes in Call of Duty. Just, I got my Red Bull. Look at me. I'm super healthy, Sal. It's a thing, right? So what I had to do is I had to remove that out of my life in order to actually take these steps. You're not even nice, though. Line up across the line from me, son. I'm telling you right now, it's a great time, but it's not putting me forward. So when I sit here, I have to reflect. I say self-discipline. Okay, I have 2 hours off in between a call. Do I play Call of Duty? Do I watch The Avengers? Do I watch Thor? Do I watch Thor beat some ass? Sexiest man in the world, Chris Hemsworth. Good for you, bro. Okay, shout out to the Australian team. You got a G on your side. Chris Hemsworth's a GOAT. All right, folks. So you need to start paying attention to the negative things in your environment that you can actually control. When I have 2 hours of time to sit here and I want to play around and I want to do stuff that doesn't help my business, then I look over at Tanner and he's doing stuff that helps his business. What do you think that makes me feel like? Not good. I feel like a loser. I'm like, all right, well, I can't let that guy outwork me. Love you, Tan, but I'm here to work, baby. Number 2, this one's funny. This one I thought was interesting. Again, these are 5 things from some of the most successful people that I have that I've seen. They're all featured in Forbes that I'm quoting here. Okay, eat regularly and eat healthily. Okay, what does that mean? First and foremost, let me get some 7s in the chat if you have ever been hangry, and perhaps not the nicest version of yourself when you're hangry. Because me, I get hangry. Garrett says every day. I'm telling you right now, I need to eat. It's very important. We've all heard, can I capitalize the 7? Fausto. I'm telling you right now, when I used to get up for high school, right, 6:45 in the morning, I'm always tired. I don't feel like eating breakfast. I go to school, my first couple periods, completely drained. I'm exhausted. I'm sitting there half asleep. Didn't go to bed till 2:30 in the morning, waking up at 6 and, shower, go to school. And I don't eat. And I'm sitting there and I'm just getting miserable and hungry. And I start dipping off and falling asleep. I used to be a wrestler, guys. And I was always sucking weight because at freshman year of high school, I was weighing in, naturally at like 145, but I was wrestling at 130. It completely killed me. I was eating a salad a day. My grades plummeted. My motivation plummeted. My work effort on the mat plummeted. I was getting pinned left and right. I had no energy. I had no energy just to even be myself. I was just miserable. I was miserable. Okay. People have a more difficult time. Hungrier people have a more challenging time concentrating on the tasks at hand. And I think that's extremely obvious, just like my school example. When I'm sitting there in school and I'm like, dude, I got my AP literature teacher. She's out here talking about quote the Raven nevermore, right? Like, geez, all right, Edgar Allan Poe, like, take it easy, honey. I'm tired. I didn't eat any dinner. I didn't eat any breakfast, and I'm slipping off my hand in the corner. Pretty sure they pulled up the floorboards and the body was under the floorboards. If you need to talk to your AP Lit teacher, Edgar Allan Poe. I went to the museum. He's a goofy guy. Folks, it's so important to feed yourself the right things. When you have these difficult tasks at hand and you go into them and you're not doing or feeding your body properly, you go to the gym with nothing in your belly. Today I did that and it was horrible because I was on a tight schedule for my calls, went to the gym with nothing in my belly. I felt terrible. I couldn't even squeeze. I felt weak. I was like, this sucks. I knew it was going to be that way too. I'm driving to the gym. I'm like, damn, I didn't eat anything. I'm going to be shaking the whole time. Not good. Not good. Okay. People that are often hungry and hangry, they have terrible self-control. It bleeds into their relationships, into their diet, into their work ethic. Eating healthy this is what I read. Okay. I'm no doctor, but it helps maintain your blood sugar, and your blood sugar properly maintained will keep you more task oriented and driven. Okay. That again, I'm not a dietitian, but this is what the smart people are saying. And this is what I started to see happen in my life. And I was like, well, it makes sense. Look at the most successful athletes. Why do you think Tom Brady wins 12% of all Super Bowls ever played? Why do you think Tom Brady wins 7 Super Bowls? Probably because he has an amazing, and I know for a fact, actually, he does this goofy diet because he's the GOAT. He does this crazy diet. I don't know if it's because Giselle, I don't know what it is, but he does something different than the rest of us every single day. I can guarantee you that. Greatness isn't that far from every one of our fingertips. It's a couple small decisions that carry in and carry on through consistent action. I guarantee you Tom Brady does something different in his morning routine, his afternoon routine, and his nightly routine that sets him apart from every single person on this planet. Better yet, every single professional football player that has ever touched the pigskin. I guarantee it. Every successful person has different habits. He doesn't eat sugar, something crazy like that. Well, I'm sure he does a lot of crazy stuff. Did you ever see him kiss his son? We'll leave that discussion for another time. Great video if you've never seen it. We from Philly, we love roasting Tom Brady. But listen, the guy's the best. It is what it is. All right, guys. Number 3. Don't wait for it to feel right. This one's really important to me. I like this one a lot. Don't wait for it to feel right. What does that mean? Well, the first thing was changing your routine is uncomfortable and it can be pretty awkward at times. Now, the best part about changing your routine, right? We always talk about getting uncomfortable. Everyone makes this comfort thing really, really bad. And I'm going to tell you why I disagree to an extent. I believe, and again, this is just me talking here. I believe that you take yourself from point A and point B being comfortability. Okay. You go from point A and then you get to point B. That's I'm comfortable now. You were doing something so long, so consistently, you got to point B. I'm comfortable. One of two things happens. There's a fork in the road. You either A, become comfortable and complacent, which means what? We're stuck, static. We're not dynamic anymore. We're complacent. Or you get comfortable and creative, folks. You could stand there and pick up a basketball for the first time at that free throw line and throw a million shots, and you might get really good at that free throw. But then you just get comfortable and you're only doing free throws. And now you're complacent because you're like, yeah, I got my shot down. But you take 2 steps forward or 5 steps backwards, and now your range is off because you got comfortable and complacent. Whereas the inverse is also true. You got that shot down so well that you can now take that confidence that you created from is that what happened to my shot? I mean, I beat Tanner. He's like 9 feet tall. It was a good game. But you either get comfortable and complacent and you're stuck at that free throw and you're not ready to go anywhere else, or you get comfortable and creative. That's my favorite. You use that comfortability. You get that comfortability to branch yourself, to build yourself, to gain confidence, to gain that oomph that you need to go and make it happen. Now you're running around the court. You're crossing people up. You're taking threes. You're doing layups. You use that comfortability to build as a foundation in order to get creative and outdo your opponents or outdo the competition. That is so, so, so vital to me. And that's why I get a little irritated when people are like, oh, you're comfortable. You're comfortable. Yeah, I want to be comfortable. I want to feel comfortable enough to be like, this is me. Now I feel comfortable enough to take it to the next step and build comfort there, and take it to the next step and build comfort there, and take it and continue that every single time. So don't wait for it to feel right. When you see something that needs to change, you need to identify it, and don't stay complacent with your comfort. Identify it and say, this isn't working for me. It's going to suck, but I need to change it. You're not drinking enough water. Well, you're cramping up on the field. Change it. Figure it out. Drink more water. When behaviors become habits, we stop using our decision-making skills and we start to function on autopilot. Okay. And what that means for us is that we're going to start breaking bad habits and we're going to inevitably build new habits. When our behaviors become habits, we stop using our decision-making skills and we function on autopilot. Therefore, breaking bad habits and creating new ones. This is so, so, so important to me. When you can stop thinking about having atomic habits, exactly, Mr. Michael. When you can just do this without having to sit there and be like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, because you've rooted it so deeply into your mind. You're so used to doing the little things. You put your shoes in the same corner every night. It starts to become a new habit, because you've already beat it into your head over and over and over and over again. Let's talk about public speaking. This one's my favorite. I don't know if you can tell. Most people are terrified of it. That's why I love it. It makes me sweat. It gets me going. My heart races. I do this thing all the time. I talk in front of hundreds of people all the time, and I still get a little nervous. And that's good because it gets me excited. It makes it feel like a fresh experience. It makes me feel like there's something ahead of me. If I didn't like doing this and if I didn't get nervous and I didn't sweat before the call, I probably wouldn't do calls. I'd be like, whatever. It's another call. Who cares? I do this because I love it, and I do it because there's growth involved. Otherwise, I'd be playing Fortnite right now. Be honest with you. Public speaking, presenting your business, those are awkward. Those are uncomfortable. The only way you'll get to that comfort and then get to the creativity, how come I can do an op call in my sleep? I could drink a whole bottle of Jameson and sell freaking Elon Musk B. I guarantee it. I could guarantee it. I'd be like, Elon, sit your ass down. I'm going to show you how to make money. I'm going to show you how to make money, bro. And he's going to say, damn, Sal, all right. I'm telling you. Tanner says the average person needs 7 exposures or 1 from Crazy Sal. And they're in. And it's because I transfer energy, guys. And it's because I got so uncomfortable. I built my comfort, and then I got creative with my speech patterns, my cadence, my tonality, my delivery, my everything that I do when I speak, my body language. All you guys see me working with my hands all the time in front of a camera. I'm not even in a room with you. And I'm trying to throw my energy at you. Tom Brady. Okay? I'm trying. You got to be able to transfer that energy somehow. And the only way you're going to get better at your public speaking, the only way you're going to get better at presenting your business is if you do it. Energy received, Randall, TD, pick 6, baby. Take it home. I love it. Number 4, folks, breaks, treats, and rewards. Breaks, treats, and rewards. When you're trying to start these new self-disciplined habits, you don't need to quit or break your old habits cold turkey, okay? If you just go into this hardcore or like drill sergeant style, you're probably going to end up overwhelming yourself and failing. If you're setting out to run a marathon, you don't just go out there on day 1 and run 26 miles. Mom went out there. She said, hey, I'm going to go do a marathon. She just kept running, never came home. That ain't how it works. She just kept going. She goes, I'm going to the shore. All right, Ma, see you in a bit. I'll make dinner. No, that's not how it works. Most people, they do it and they get a couple steps. They get around the block and they come home and they say, Dan, that wasn't good enough. But it is, because you took the first step. Stop selling yourself short because it wasn't what the athletes did that have been training for 30 years. Everyone seems to be like, it all happens overnight for everyone else. Bruh, it didn't happen overnight for anybody else. Some people get really, really lucky. That's not what you should be basing your life off of. Luck. That's silly. Some people get lucky. Others work their ass off for it. So when we start something, we do it step by step. Taking action is better than no action at all. Exactly. And when we're doing this, we don't want to overwhelm ourselves. Okay. If you have zero wiggle room, that often results in failure. Okay. And that's going to make it even more difficult for you to create that consistency to develop that self-discipline. If you give yourself zero wiggle room, you'll never, ever, ever feel confident enough when you fail to get back up on the horse and keep going. Okay. Usain Bolt trained so long for a 10-second race. Exactly. You have to put in the time. I didn't just learn this op call. I didn't learn the information on day one. In fact, I learned it and I butchered it a couple times. Tanner and I, you should have seen us the first. Tanner used to get beat red before we would do an op call. He would get so nervous. And we would sit there and I'd be like, dude, we're all good. Let's pretend you're talking to me. And it's the truth. You know, it's easy to do over a Zoom call, but it's also difficult to do over a Zoom call. Everyone thinks they got it. They got it all figured out. I got my notes. Then you get on the call and you're umming and you're like. Let me get some fives in the chat if you're a liker. Every other word you drop the word like. Jeez Louise. It's tough, guys. It's tough. And I'm going to tell you what, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I do my very, very, very best to try to monitor my likes because I study speech and I see people do it all the time. It's a very common thing. You shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad about it, but people say like all the time. They're likers. And I'll tell you what, I used to sit in my college classes. When someone's giving a presentation, I would start to get such like awkwardness when I hear them ripping likes every other word. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I'm hearing this, I know the professor's hearing this. I know your ass is getting a bad grade. Because I was in all public speaking classes, all speech-based classes. When people say like a lot, and this isn't coming at anybody, when people are replacing that thought process, people say and like because they feel as if they take a pause in their breath to formulate their sentence properly. They feel like they're either going to lose the person they're talking to or they're going to be judged. Toastmasters, that's right. Or they're going to be judged because they took a second to take a breath and think about what they have to say. If you ever seen me take a breath on the call or draw something out, here's my secret. Sometimes I draw some stuff out because I don't know what I'm saying. And I'll just pull it out and then I'll emphasize it. And you guys are like, damn, yeah, that was a home run. And really, I'm just avoiding the mess up because people don't know. They don't know. When you mess up, when Beyonce takes a spill on stage, she dances it off. She's flailing the legs in the air, YMCA style, you know, like play it off, run it. It was part of the plan the whole time. What the hell do they know? They don't. Don't be worried about how people are judging your speech. Think what you have to say, formulate your sentence, and deliver it with passion, with everything you have. And that right there will transfer the energy necessary to take it. Maki says, roll with the punches. Yes, sir. YMCA style that made my mom laugh. Tell your mom I said, how you doing? I love you guys. I'm telling you right now, if you try to quit cold turkey and you do this stuff, and you jump into this and you're like, I'm doing it, you know, it's gonna be very, very detrimental to your progress if you start to fail. Okay. If you're dieting, treat yourself to some ice cream every now and again. You're at the gym all the time, go get a nice massage. Spending too much money, you want to monitor your spending? Okay, that's fine. How many of you have heard about you don't make a purchase on something until you've wanted it for 2 weeks? If you never heard that, that's something that I really, 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 really need to work on. Tanner, I see and I buy, Mr. Tanner Clapperich. I get. That's something that a lot of us need to work on. It's definitely a thing. Okay. And many of us are guilty of it. I'm an impulse buyer, but I'm also very conservative. I only, you know, splurge when I really know that I want that thing. Okay. So understand that this stuff that we're talking about, guys, it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people. Okay. You need to remember to reward yourself, because these things, man, these self-disciplines, they really will change your life by doing just a couple little things over and over and over again. Now, number 5, forgive yourself and keep moving. Forgive yourself and keep moving. During this process, you're trying to establish a new paradigm. You're trying to create a new way of thinking, and it's not always going to go exactly as planned. It's not always going to go exactly as planned, okay? It's actually probably going to mess up more times than not in the beginning. How many of you, I mean, I know a lot of us are adults here, but let's pretend we're back at home with mom and dad, okay? Or mom and dad, I don't care. Let's pretend we're back at home. How many of you have to wait for your mom to tell you to do the laundry? How many of you have to wait for your mom to tell you to bring the trash out? How many of you have to wait for mom to yell at you to do the dishes? I mean, I know I was one of them. I was always being like, I don't want to bring the trash out. Okay. I don't want to bring the trash out. But then I started doing it without her asking. And what that did was amazing things. Amazing things. My mom, just the littlest thing, she was so appreciative of it. And I didn't realize that because I just didn't know what I didn't know. I was a kid. But then I started doing it without her asking. And she would come in from work or something, and she'd be like, damn, the dishes are in the dishwasher. I don't have to scrub each one. Throw them in the dishwasher. It's not that hard. Throw it in the dishwasher, hit one button. Imagine if it was 1950. I don't think they had dishwashers back then. All right. And you're out there scrubbing. We got scrub daddies now. And you guys watch the Shark Tank, free ad right here. Scrub daddy, the greatest freaking sponge that's ever been created. And it comes from an area right outside of South Philly. Scrub daddy, represent. Get on Amazon, buy it. Maybe I'll get $1 from the guy in Folsom. Okay. So forgive yourself and keep moving forward. You're creating a new way of thinking, right? So that's going to be difficult as is. There's always going to be ups and downs in this process of trying to establish this new way of thinking, this new wave, this new energy. You're always going to have massive successes and massive failures. There's going to be pullbacks. We talk about stretch and secure. Stretch and secure. When you have these setbacks, you need to acknowledge it. That's so difficult for so many people. You have to just acknowledge it. What caused it, and how do you move on from it? You got caught here. Well, guess what? You need to figure it out. Was talking to Maki. He got caught in one of his fights. Towards the end of the fight, he got caught. It is what it is. Now you got to go back to the drawing board, see everything you did right, but where did you go wrong? All the stuff you did right, that's great, but you can't focus on that saying, good job, right? We got to go back to the drawing board. We messed up. At a certain point, we got to establish where we messed up, see what we did wrong, and then attack it, get better at it, make it so it's second nature. So next time we find ourselves this close to that encounter, we can automatically, by second nature, right? We can just combat that situation properly. See what I did there? I started losing my words, and I just took a breath and then go, Ums are tough, man. They break people's ears. Fall down 10, get up 11. Yes, sir, baby. I need you to understand that when you have these setbacks, you cannot get wrapped up in your guilt, right? We all feel it. We all feel disappointed. Like, damn, this sucks. I just messed up. I let people down, You don't get wrapped up in that. You just got to keep going. First and foremost, you're not going to be judged on your mistakes for the first time. I said this earlier. As long as you fix them, it is what it is. You're not perfect, dude. Figure it out. You messed up. Boo-hoo. Okay? If you stay on yourself, you'll never find the heart to keep going. If you're just bogging yourself down because you messed up, you'll never find it in your heart to get up and keep going. Minor setbacks for major comebacks. I love this stuff. You guys are teaching me stuff in the chat. I love it. Okay? And then finally, the longer that you're off the saddle, the harder it is to get back on. How many of you know this? You're in the gym 2, 3, 4 weeks. You're feeling great. You're killing it. And then you go on a trip to Mexico. And all you do is eat and drink and lay in the sun. And then you're like, damn, I'm getting chunky again. Okay? That sucks. That was me last week. I'm like, damn, I should be in the gym right now, but that Miami Vice is screaming my name. So I get back in the pool bar, But the thing is, the longer you stay off, the longer you sit there and wallow in your disappointment or whatever it might be to you, your mess up, your setback, whatever you want to call it. The longer that you stay off the saddle because you're in your own head, the harder it is going to be getting back up on that horse, guys. You got to just feel it. Okay. And a lot of you get on these calls and you're like, Sal, like, what do you do? Like, how do you do? Like, why? What makes you get up? People ask me, what's your biggest regret in B? I don't have regrets by joining this business. Things went really, really well for me, and things are going really, really well for a lot of people. But the coolest part is, financials aside, that I've grown so much as a human being. I don't know what I would do if I woke up tomorrow and I didn't have any of you. I don't know. I don't care if just one of you showed up to this call. I would still send it. I'd be here sitting here like I'm talking to Madison Square Garden, packed out, baby. The thing is that when you find something that makes you feel again, when you find something that brings you out of a low spot, when you find something that makes you feel like you have purpose, you got to grip it and you got to run. No one here is going to, outside of here, no one in your life is going to pay your bills unless it's, a significant other. Maybe you got a rich dad, rich mom. Good for you. I don't have that. I got a poor mom, and I love her because she works hard and she doesn't get what she deserves. That's why I do what I do. Everyone says you got to find a why that'll make you cry. I have plenty of whys that'll make you cry. If you want to get serious, it's easy. Look around. Look at the world. People don't want to help each other right now. So many people judge people off of the color of their skin, off of the area they were born, as if they have any control over that. You have no control of where you start, but you have all the control, and you know this. You heard it 1,000,001 times, and every cliche in the world says you have all of the control in the world to govern where you're going. You know this, but somehow you still sit there and you think it's not possible. And somehow you sit there and you accept your limitations. If you develop that 1-rep mentality, everyone in the gym knows, and I don't know why people think this, but it's like I get into the gym, I can only do even numbers when I'm training, only 8, 10, or 12 reps. I'm telling you right now, when you go past your limit that you set on yourself mentally, you say, I'm only going to get 12 reps. So I'm going to tell you right now, your growth just stopped. You just capped your growth, because the real growth comes on 13, 14, and 15. Yeah, I'm going to encourage you to do odd numbers in the gym, because that's where the growth comes. The odd numbers. Be the odd man. Be the odd woman out. Be the one willing to step aside. The reason why I can do this is because I'm not afraid of the judgment that comes my way, because I know that I have the strength to shoulder and carry what comes, because it might just help one other person. And that one other person might not have the confidence just yet to do this themselves, but they need to hear it. And so I'll take the judgment. I'll take the criticism. I'll take the heat for everyone on this call. You guys showed up for an hour. You don't have to be here on a Tuesday night. You all showed up here for an hour straight. And I believe if I sat here for another hour, you'd sit here with me. And that's why I would go to war for you. That's why I get up and I answer your call at 9 a.m. and I stay up till 4 a.m. Because I love you guys. I love what we do. And I truly, truly freaking believe in this. If you don't, you need to talk to me more. Reach out. I will talk to you. I will answer. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I think I'm going to have a very special speaker on Thursday, and I would love for you guys to bring as many people as you can to support this individual. She's super, super talented, super smart, and she's got so much value and has such a success story and a massive successful record. I would love to have you all back here, same time, same link, and we're going to continue to share and grow together. And if you're someone that wants to ever hop on a call like this and say your piece to the people, reach out to me. We do not silence leadership. Money, rank, status, titles, that means nothing to me. You're either here or you're over there. You're either here with me or you're over there. I don't care. You ride with me, I'm going to ride with you. End of story. So with that being said, guys, I love you. If you don't know, my Instagram is at SalFox14. Reach out and say, yo, I'm ready to run a call with you. Let's get you out of that comfort zone, right? Not out of the comfort zone, out of that complacent zone, that complacent spot. We're going to get you comfortable and creative, baby. The 2 C's, not Canadian Club, CC. I love my whiskey, baby. But with that being said, I appreciate you all. Have a great night, and we'll see you all on Thursday. Peace and love. Let's get it, fam.